Tibetan Buddhism, also known as Vajrayana Buddhism, isn't just another form of Buddhism, it's a vibrant tapestry of spiritual wisdom that has evolved in Tibet and the Himalayan region, weaving together elements of Mahayana Buddhism with Tantric practices and indigenous Bon traditions. Can you imagine a belief system that is not just a religion but a profound cultural and philosophical force? This is precisely what Tibetan Buddhism is. It has deeply touched the lives of its followers and left an indelible mark on the world. Let's dive into this essay to explore the many layers of Tibetan Buddhism and see how it has shaped not only religious thought but also culture, society, and even global perspectives. 1. Religious and philosophical influence. What makes Tibetan Buddhism so unique? It's the way it synthesizes Mahayana and Vajrayana teachings, creating a rich blend of spiritual practices, doctrines, and rituals. At its heart, Tibetan Buddhism emphasizes the development of wisdom, prajna, and compassion, karuna. Isn't that a beautiful combination? The ultimate goal is nothing less than achieving enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, a truly altruistic pursuit. Doctrinal contributions. The philosophical depth of Tibetan Buddhism is astounding. It integrates teachings from both the Madhyamaka and Yogacara schools. Imagine challenging the very notion of inherent existence. As Madhyamaka does with its profound teachings on emptiness, shunyata. It offers a middle path, steering clear of nihilism and eternalism. Meanwhile, Yogacar's focus on consciousness provides a nuanced understanding of the mind and self. How fascinating is that, Tantric practices, and then there are the esoteric practices of Vajrayana. These are designed for rapid spiritual transformation. Picture this, using mandalas, mantras, and mudras, along with advanced meditation techniques, all aimed at achieving enlightenment in just one lifetime. Isn't it intriguing how these practices contrast with the more gradual approaches of other Buddhist traditions, rituals and meditation? Rituals in Tibetan Buddhism are not just ceremonial, they are deeply symbolic. Aligning the practitioner's mind with the enlightened state of Buddhahood. And meditation? It's more than just sitting still, it's about delving deep into the nature of reality through practices like analytical meditation and dzogchen, great perfection. This is where one experiences the intrinsic Buddha nature directly. Doesn't that sound profound, too? Cultural and artistic influence. Tibetan Buddhism's influence on culture and art is nothing short of mesmerizing. It has shaped the very aesthetic and spiritual landscape of the regions it touches. Art and iconography. Have you ever seen a Thangka painting? These artworks are more than just visually stunning, they serve as teaching tools and meditation aids. Every detail, every color, is laden with symbolic meaning, conveying spiritual teachings and cosmological concepts. Isn't it amazing how creating these art forms is considered a spiritual practice in itself? Architecture. Think about the breathtaking monastic architecture in Tibet, like the Potala Palace or Tashalhunpo Monastery. These aren't just buildings, they're spiritual symbols. The design often mirrors the Buddhist universe, with central spires representing Mount Meru. Imagine living in a place that symbolizes the cosmos, literature and textual tradition. Tibetan Buddhism boasts a rich textual tradition, with scriptures like the Kangyur and Tengyur, along with countless commentaries and biographical works. These texts are more than just historical documents, they're integral to the study and practice of Buddhism. Isn't it incredible how they've influenced the broader Buddhist literary tradition? 3. Political and social influence. Did you know Tibetan Buddhism has been a significant player in the political and social arenas of Tibet and surrounding regions? Theocratic governance. Up until the mid-20th century, Tibetan society was governed by a unique theocratic system where the Dalai Lama was both the spiritual and political leader. Imagine a society where religious authority merges seamlessly with administrative power. The Dalai Lama's role as a unifying figure still profoundly impacts the Tibetan diaspora and the global Tibetan Buddhist community. Isn't that remarkable? Social organization and ethics. Tibetan Buddhism isn't just about rituals and meditation, it's a way of life. Its emphasis on compassion, nonviolence, and ethical conduct permeates everyday life, fostering a culture of kindness and social responsibility. Isn't that a beautiful way to live, resistance and identity? In times of political upheaval, Tibetan Buddhism has become a symbol of cultural identity and resistance. The teachings of nonviolence and compassion have inspired peaceful resistance, both within Tibet and among the Tibetan diaspora. It's amazing how these teachings continue to guide the Tibetan struggle for autonomy and cultural preservation. 4. Global influence and spread. The reach of Tibetan Buddhism goes far beyond the borders of Tibet. It has touched lives worldwide, influencing spiritual seekers, scholars, and practitioners alike, diaspora and exile. The Chinese occupation of Tibet in 1959 led to the exile of the Dalai Lama and thousands of Tibetans. This unfortunate event, however, facilitated the global spread of Tibetan Buddhism. Isn't it fascinating how adversity can lead to a wider appreciation of spiritual wisdom, engagement with modernity? Tibetan Buddhism resonates with contemporary concerns about mental health and ethical living. Practices like mindfulness meditation have been adopted in various secular contexts, including psychology and healthcare. It's incredible how relevant and adaptable these ancient teachings are in today's world. Influence on global peace and ethics. The Dalai Lama, with his teachings of peace, nonviolence, and compassion, has become a global spiritual leader. His advocacy for human rights, environmental stewardship, and interfaith dialogue has significantly impacted global peace movements. Isn't it inspiring to see how one person's teachings can influence the world? 5. Influence on psychology and medicine. Tibetan Buddhism isn't just a spiritual path, it has also made significant contributions to psychology and medicine. Contemplative practices in psychology. Did you know Tibetan Buddhist meditation techniques are now widely studied in psychology? Research shows their effectiveness in reducing stress, anxiety, and depression, and enhancing emotional regulation and cognitive flexibility. Isn't it amazing how these practices are now integral to therapies like mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR? Tibetan medicine. Rooted in Buddhist philosophy, Tibetan medicine offers a holistic approach to health, combining herbal remedies, dietary practices, and spiritual healing. It emphasizes the balance of the body's elements and the interdependence of physical, mental, and spiritual health. It's fascinating how this ancient medical system is gaining recognition worldwide. 6. Educational and scholarly influence. Education and scholarship have always been at the heart of Tibetan Buddhism. Monastic education. Tibetan monasteries are not just places of worship, they're centers of rigorous learning, preserving a curriculum that includes philosophy, logic, debate, and ritual practice. The scholarly tradition has produced a vast body of commentaries and treatises. Isn't it remarkable how these institutions have fostered intellectual inquiry and doctrinal development, academic studies and research? Today, Tibetan Buddhism is a subject of global academic interest. Scholars and researchers worldwide delve into its texts, practices, and history, contributing to a deeper understanding of Buddhism. Tibetan Buddhist scholars also engage in dialogues with scientists, especially in neuroscience and psychology, exploring the intersections of Buddhism and science. How exciting is that? 7. Environmental and ecological influence. Tibetan Buddhism offers a unique perspective on environmental ethics, emphasizing the interconnectedness of all life and the sanctity of nature. Sacred geography. For Tibetan Buddhists, nature isn't just a backdrop, it's sacred. Mountains, rivers, and other natural features are often imbued with spiritual significance. This reverence for nature fosters a conservation ethic that encourages protecting the environment as an act of compassion. Isn't that a beautiful way to view the world? Sustainable practices. Tibetan Buddhism promotes sustainable living and environmental stewardship. Monastic communities often engage in practices like organic farming and reforestation, demonstrating a commitment to the environment. Imagine a world where spirituality and sustainability go hand in hand. Global environmental advocacy. Leaders like the Dalai Lama have been vocal advocates for environmental protection, highlighting the ethical and spiritual dimensions of ecological issues. Their teachings encourage a holistic understanding of environmental challenges, advocating for a compassionate and mindful approach to addressing global crises. Isn't it inspiring to see such leadership? 8. Influence on community and human rights. Tibetan Buddhism has profoundly shaped community life and human rights advocacy. Community building. Tibetan Buddhist communities are often organized around monastic institutions, serving as centers of spiritual, educational, and social activity. They foster a sense of solidarity and mutual support, guided by values of compassion, generosity, and ethical conduct. What a wonderful way to build community. Human rights advocacy. Tibetan Buddhism is at the forefront of advocating for human rights, particularly in the struggle for autonomy and religious freedom. Its teachings of nonviolence and compassion have informed a peaceful resistance movement, emphasizing dialogue and reconciliation. Isn't it powerful how these teachings guide social and political action, interfaith and intercultural dialogue? Tibetan Buddhist leaders are committed to interfaith and intercultural dialogue, promoting understanding and respect among diverse traditions. This commitment fosters a more inclusive and compassionate global community. Isn't this the kind of world we all want to live in? 9. Influence on spiritual tourism and pilgrimage. Tibetan Buddhism attracts spiritual seekers and tourists from around the world, contributing to the growth of spiritual tourism and pilgrimage. Pilgrimage sites, the sacred sites of Tibet, like Mount Kailash and Lhasa, are magnets for pilgrims and spiritual tourists. These places offer a profound spiritual experience and a glimpse into the unique cultural heritage of Tibetan Buddhism. Have you ever felt the call to explore such sacred landscapes, spiritual retreats and teachings? Around the globe, Tibetan Buddhist monasteries and centers offer retreats, teachings, and meditation courses to international practitioners. These programs foster cross-cultural exchange and spiritual growth. Imagine the richness of such experiences. Economic impact. Spiritual tourism is a significant source of income for Tibetan communities, especially those in exile. It helps preserve Tibetan culture and heritage while promoting economic opportunities. Isn't it wonderful to see spirituality and economics benefiting each other? 10. Influence on contemporary art and culture. The teachings and aesthetics of Tibetan Buddhism have left a mark on contemporary art and culture. Contemporary art. Tibetan Buddhist themes and aesthetics inspire contemporary artists, who use its symbolism and philosophy to explore spirituality, identity, and social justice. Tibetan artists in exile express the struggles and aspirations of their people through vibrant and dynamic art. Isn't it amazing how art can be a powerful voice for change? Literature and film. Tibetan Buddhist teachings have influenced literature and film, inspiring stories about compassion, wisdom, and the human condition. Films like Kundan and 7 Years in Tibet bring Tibetan Buddhism to a global audience, raising awareness of its teachings and the Tibetan struggle. How powerful is that? Music and performance. Tibetan Buddhist chants and mantras have influenced contemporary music, contributing to genres like world music and spiritual music. Tibetan musicians use their art to share their rich cultural heritage. Isn't it beautiful how music can connect us to spiritual traditions? Conclusion. The influence of Tibetan Buddhism is vast and multidimensional, touching every aspect of life from the spiritual to the cultural, social, and global. Its teachings of compassion, wisdom, and ethical living continue to inspire individuals and communities worldwide. As Tibetan Buddhism adapts to new contexts and challenges, its legacy remains a source of inspiration and guidance for all of us. Doesn't this make you curious about how these teachings could enrich your own life?